Hello, everybody. This is our channel to consciousness, and this is PJ jumping on and giving you a little afternoon update. And we will see what has been going on in the world lately. All right, lots of stuff happening, lots of stuff going on. We are still in this situation of the world moving and a lot of people waking up and a lot of people still not getting the message. Some people are sitting there wondering what is going on, wondering when everybody is going to wake up, wondering what's going to happen to change the world. So we're going to go into that today and have a little discussion about it. So hello to everybody in Facebook land jumping on, and we will also be starting to add some of these lives onto YouTube. So I'm still getting the technology sorted, so I'm going to stick to this while I am knowing what I'm doing, and I'll get better and better at being able to put all this up onto YouTube. All right, so I did miss last week and I had every intention of catching back up again, but that didn't happen because things are really moving ahead, lots of stuff going on, and it's just been a really full on time. So I've been waiting to actually clear my space, and I have literally been physically clearing my space. Clearing my house, clearing the office, clearing the files, clearing the garage, clearing any spare areas. And I've really felt this nesting or this urging to really clear. And I'm in a process of it at the moment. So if you are feeling the same, let me know. It's very much a sorting, it's a purging. I feel very strongly about purging. So the world is going through this purging stage as well. Now we're going to get into that and talk about what all this is about. So if you feel like you're wanting to spring clean in the southern part of the world, it is our beautiful spring time, and for the northern part of the world, you're moving into the opposite. But any change of season, any change of time frame, is a really good opportunity to actually do real clean up, spring clean, what's going on. Check it out. So we're going to get into what has been happening, because today is the last day of the September month. The September, which is our 9, and the 30th of September. 3 is for connection or disconnect. 9 is for transition. It is the out with the old and it is in with the new. As we have said, the month of September was going to be a complete whitewash of transition. Lots of changes, lots of things adjusting, lots of things moving around and changing, some coming in, some being cleaned up, and some going out. It is literally like being a laundromat of going around and round and round. So September is its time of the transition. And as we speak about the ocean, it's when the waves are coming in, but the tide is changing. Instead of this beautiful flow of the wave coming in, the wave going out, as there's a change in the tide, the change of tide brings about this whitewash, and it's a swirl. And if you're not careful, you will actually get caught up in that whitewash, that energy, that mixing up of the waters, because it's a turbulent time. So in September, you will see that it followed through from the month of August, which is our 8th month, meaning the truth month. You will see truths revealing, truths being revealed, truths being lifted up. There are no real great new truths coming up in September, but what was happening is those truths were being aired, they were being lifted, they were trying to be expressed, trying to share more truths to more people. There were other people who are very stubborn and strong and resilient in their not wanting to look at truths. So you've got this whitewash of energy going on about, some really, really desperately wanting the information to come out, other people believing what their information is right, whether or not you're sitting on one side or the other, it doesn't matter. It's about where your truths are sitting. And as we were saying, it's like this red pilling. More truths will come up and come out when you're ready. So truths are our pillar 8. Truths are what connects you through that transitional phase into your peace. But you must go through a transitional phase to start with. So that transitional phase will actually lead you from your truth and bring you over into your peace. So just as there's been a lot of clearing and sorting in this month, you may have also felt that you wanted to clear things and sort things. You wanted to get things organized. It might be like a nurturing type sort of feeling. It might be that you just wanted to get everything cleaned out. You're feeling like it's like a nesting, wanting to get things sorted. So it's a purging. It's a releasing that old connection. So if you're feeling like, wow, that's the end of that job, or wow, that's the end of that friendship, or wow, that's the end of that messy room, or wow, that's the end of that behavior, or the value, or putting yourself down. So wherever you are looking, it doesn't matter where it is and what's happening, you will feel that you're not going to put up with a particular thing or a particular situation any longer. And it's all about either step up or step out. People in your life for now have to either step up or step out. That's the process about what's going on. So you'll understand that you are choosing to live, and that you are choosing to grow, and that you are choosing to awaken and only live with your truth. You may feel that you're being really, really frustrated at the moment. And it's a real frustration of, well, if you've researched it and if you've known it, why can't everyone else research it and know? There could be a real frustration going on because this transition is taking you through that. So please be careful about where you are, what you're doing, and what you're sitting in, because it's like there's this huge lid that's been taken off the planet. And it's that lid that's literally been exposing the truth. But while the lid was on there, the information was being suppressed. Everything was being shut down. Everything was being contained and contained and contained. Now that the lid is coming off, you can actually look in the year of 2020, the vision, clarity, vision. You can actually look in and you can actually see this vision for what it is. You can see the world for what it is. You can see your life for what it is, your relationships, your connection, your work, and so on for what it is. So having a look at this, having a look at what's happening, you will be seeing some things that will surprise you or shock you, or you'll be learning things. And then you'll be looking around going, why isn't everybody else learning this? But other people have been looking at you in the past going, well, why didn't you wake up? What's going on here? So September is concluding. That's that transitional month. And you're going to be going straight into the October, which is your one. It's the rebirthing again. It's the replenishing again. It is looking at the foundations about what is happening. So you're going to be seeing that these truths are now going to have actions around them. There's going to be actions around what's happened, actions around the truths that have come up in the world, and these truths are going to now start to be anchored in, and there are going to be people who are going to action whatever has come up. So whatever the truths have come up about the world, whatever the truths have come up about the pandemic or not, the virus or not, masks or not, the shutdown or not, the police state or not, whatever these truths are coming up, in October expect them to be anchored down, because you are looking now at action. If you have been one of these people who's sitting back and feeling that you can sit in your meditation and you can sit in your spiritual energy and you can sit in that peaceful state and that wait for everybody else to help move the world forward and lift the world into its 5th dimension, if you're sitting there, then you are missing half of the message. Yes, it is about maintaining your peace and maintaining your joy and maintaining your passion, maintaining your connection and so on. But there has to be action. There has to be action placed in the world. There must be action, because without action, you are giving into what is coming to you. You are giving into what you're being told to do. You are being compliant. And so, therefore, any inaction is complacency or compliance. So, don't mistake that beautiful spiritual energy, that connection energy, that holding your own, for a requirement for inaction. We hear this over and over and over. We don't want to get into the fear. We don't want to get into the anger. We don't want to get into the action. We agree, don't get into the fear. Don't get into the anger, but we don't agree when you say we won't get into the action, because it is about actioning, and it is time for you to do whatever action is for you, is for your action. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit back in the world and let whatever is happening going on? Are you going to sit back and look at these rules and laws and legislations and this completely new way of life be the new way of life for your children and your grandchildren? Are you going to be one that in 10 years' time you look back and go, wow, I was safe in my home, I was safe on my lounge, I was safe watching my movies, and boy, everyone else out there was doing a great job? Or are you going to be someone who is going to be, I'm standing in my resilience, I'm standing in my truth, I'm standing in my essence, I'm standing in the fabric of what I believe is right, and I will connect into that, and I will hold my peace, and I will hold my love, and I will hold my connection. But boy, I can do that with a lot of truth and a lot of intellect behind me. So know that these truths have risen. We're in the whitewash of this change now. And the whitewash of the change is the turning of the tide. The tide has changed. The tide has turned. So as everything was coming in, this whitewash coming in like the ocean and moving around this big change, what's going to happen now is the tide is starting to turn, and that tide will start to move and ease out. But the action of this is really important for you to understand. What is it that you're accepting in this new tide? What are you accepting in this new life? What are you accepting in this new journey? Because Mother Earth is a living, feeling, energetic being. Mother Earth has lifted, and Mother Earth has decided that she will lift into her highest vibrational frequency, and its inhabitants have to do the same. They either have to step up or step out. So what are you doing about this? What are you doing to help the other 30% of the planet who required to step up but haven't, required to connect but haven't? We will tell you that there are 90% of the planet that is required to step up and wake up and see their awareness. 90%. Not 100, because there are 10% who will not step up because they are the ones creating the issue, or will not wake up because they are too far buried into the deep of the darkness of the shadowing of what they are told to do. So there is a 90% requirement for the world to wake up. And we will tell you that we mentioned in the beginning of the year, you'll pass that 50% tipping point. That tipping point now is at 60%. There is a 60% wake up of the planet as we speak. Awareness, wake up, information, intellect, analyzing, investigating, seeing, researching, finding for themselves, experiencing for themselves, teaching others, knowing what's going on, turning off the TV, looking at where they can get their information from, looking at what's in their hearts, looking at what's in their dreams and their information, sensing that there's something wrong, sensing that you've all been taken for a huge ride here, and that ride is not pleasant. There is a lot of people who have woken up in various levels, and that is sitting at 60% at the moment. And so if the requirement is 90% and the planet is sitting at 60%, Mother Earth now needs 30% more to be connected, to wake up, to step up. But if you look at the maths on that, if there is 60% of the population of the planet awake or aware or investigating the truth, and there's only a requirement for 30% left, for every 2 people that have woken up, there's only 1 required to step up. So for every 2 now, there are 2 people speaking that can help someone connect. Whereas before, it was for every 1 person awake, they had 100 that they were trying to speak to. So the equation is now on your side. So the maths is now on your side. So time is now on your side. So space is now on your side. You have the majority, and it's like 2 parents raising 1 child rather than a single mother or a single parent raising 6 children. So you've got the benefit of maths on your side here. Everything is moving, and how they will connect is through the truth. How people will connect is via truth. How you connected was because of truth. So truth is the gold. Truth is the key. Truth is that information. But you can only hold into your own truth when you have opened up your eyes to be able to be free to experience other people's truths. If you are sitting in your own soapbox of your own truth and you refuse to look at anybody else's truth, you may be an illusion. How do you know that's the truth? Unless you look at everything else to realize and confirm that you are sitting in your truth. And when you realize this, know that there'll be layer upon layer upon layer of that truth. There'll be 1 layer of that truth, and then that may move into an illusion, and there'll be another layer of the truth, and then another layer of the truth, and so on. So you will be exposed to the truth as you are energetically, vibrationally awakening and lifting and being present enough to be able to handle the truth. So when you can cope with that truth, you can see that truth, and it doesn't take you off your frequency vibration of pillar 1 of peace, pillar 2 of love, and pillar 3 connection, the 3 most important fabrications for planet Earth to maintain peace, love, and connection. Whilst you can maintain that, you will be delivered more truths. But if these truths start to throw you or take you off path, if these truths start to put you into fear or negativity, the truths will start to slow back down into your space, into your existence, because you are to maintain your positivity. You are to maintain that sense of where you are sitting in that higher frequency of the 3 values of Mother Earth: peace, love, and connection. So know that when you are on a drive and you are driven to research and know and learn, look deep and look deep and look deep. Research everything. We say trust no one, research everything. Look at that information. There is so much truth exposed on this planet at the moment that you will not hear from your TVs. You will not hear from the mainstream media. You will not. So if you think that's where you're getting your source of truth, you are sadly mistaken. Have a look at everything that has happened with the news. It is fear. It is about death. It is about destruction. It is about accidents. There is barely anything of substance within your news. So when you are having a look at where to get your information, you will have a look at the citizen journalists. Have a look at those who have explored in a certain area and that they've got the evidence and the proof and the materials and the documents and the links, so you can then confirm what they've researched. And get someone who's a specialist in that area, because they will have a passion in one particular area to research and research. And then when you can put all of these cases together like modules or chapters of a book, then you'll be able to really lift it and see the whole picture. And it's like getting a piece of the puzzle and a piece of the puzzle. But we urge you to use your intellect. We urge you to use your brain. And we're going to urge you to make sure everything you're doing at the moment is with the understanding to help clear your brain, to keep your brain clear, to keep yourself away from fogs, negative energy, people pulling you down. There is going to be more and more and more energy now surfacing into people and into people's lives in a negative form to pull people down, because negative energy feeds off negative energy. Negative energy feeds off negative energy. So when you realize that the planet is lifting, Mother Earth is lifting, the consciousness of mankind is lifting, the consciousness of people have lifted, when you realize this and you realize that it's productivity, it's positivity, it's progress, everything is moving up and moving up and moving up into that fifth dimensional state. When you realize this, there is less and less negativity for those who are violently negative and in the shadow side to feed on, because negativity loves company. If you heard someone gossip about someone or be negative about someone, or somebody who is working and doing everything that they possibly can, and they're doing the best job that they possibly can, and you've got someone who is negative and negative and negative, that person won't just be speaking the negative on their own. They're going to want company. They're going to pull in company, because negativity breeds a family, breeds connection. Negativity wants company. So as more and more people are lifting, and you are lifting, and you are all lifting into that higher space, and do everything that you possibly can to maintain there, do everything you can to stay into that connected space. What you also need to be aware of, and we say this not out of fear, but we're saying this out of truth, is that negativity, and it rises up out of the earth. All of the hidden secrets in the earth are now being exposed, are now being lifted and brought up to the surface, literally brought up to the surface. All the hidden information, all the hidden experiments, all the hidden people, all the entrapment, all the toxicity, all the impurity of the planet is now being exposed to be revealed. So when this negativity has less and less source supply, food supply, energy supply, that more and more people are lifting, more and more people are getting connected, consciously connected, lifting their vibration, lifting their frequency, less people are buying into the negative, less people are buying into the fear, then there's less for these incredibly toxic, negative, evil souls to actually feed on. So what they're going to be doing is they'll be coming into your life more and more. This energy of negativity will aim to come into your life to pull it down, to try and divide good people, to try and disconnect good people, to try and disconnect good communities, to try and disconnect good relationships. This negative energy will filter its way, and they will do destructive things. They are doing destructive things to pull the work down of the pillar code. They're going to be doing destructive things to pull down really good work out there in the community, really good work out there in what is really good to help with the virus, what is really good to help lift immunity. You'll know it yourselves, because when you listen to what the news is, there is no information about keeping yourselves healthy and positive. No information about keeping yourselves healthy and positive. Think about that. Think about that. If your government would like healthy populations, they are not going to do it by dividing and drawing down and being destructive, keeping people indoors and masked, and people isolated from the very thing everybody knows in mankind, what is the healing energy. It is the soul connection of health. It is the vibrational frequency of the cellular DNA, the cellular memory, and that is community, and that is love, and that is togetherness. So when everybody on the planet knows that your health and your mental health, your physical health, your cellular memory, your cellular DNA, everything about your mind, your body, your soul, your life is about collaboration, connection, being together, lifting each other's immunity. Then when you have dictatorship saying that you will be apart, not speak, not hug, not be able to celebrate, not be able to dance, not be able to marry, not be able to go and have social functions, not be able to see your elderly in their homes and hold them and love them, not being able to have your children free to run around and embrace each other and have the beautiful joy that children have. When you have a look at these ridiculous situations of not being able to walk in nature, not being able to go to the beach, but you can actually sit in a small closed room and do a press conference. This is just ludicrous. So please use your intellect. Please use your brain. Please see what's happening here. Love is togetherness. Love is combination. Love is community. Love is high immune. It is building cellular health. Building cellular health in every single cell of your body from cellular memory. And that cellular memory goes into your DNA, and that affects your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. So what are they doing to this generation? What are they doing to this particular skill set? What are they doing to the teens who are about to go to get jobs? They are teaching them that they don't need to work to get money. What are they doing to children? Isolating and disinfecting them so that they won't have a good immunity when something really does come down and affects their bodies. So please have a look at what is going on. Mother Earth is spewing this negativity out, and it is lifting into the planet so truth can be revealed, because when you know a truth, that leads you to your peace. Truth revealed is a truth healed. Truth revealed is a truth healed. So please hold that connection, understand what's going on. Maintain your truth, but maintain it in your peace, in your love, and in your connection. Know that there are going to be negative energies feeding their way through the vulnerable. It is happening. It is happening now. So please have a look. If you have been attacked by somebody who has been vulnerable, if you have been insulted by someone who may be vulnerable, if you have something coming in to sabotage you, your work, your life, your relationship, your parenting, your friendships, or so on, have a look back and going, is that person being manipulated by negative energies? Have they let themselves go into a vulnerable position? Because anything where you're going to break down your energetic strength, drugs, drinking, smoking, excess in sugars and so on, where you're going to take away the energetic framework, take away that energetic steel trap, beautiful aura that can clear and heal anything that's going to be of toxicity, foods that are poisonous, foods that are plastic in nature, they're not even having any energetic vibration in them. Anything like this can actually drop your immunity. So at this point, be even more pristine with what you are eating, drinking, reading, connecting into, and so on, because the lower the vibration of your energetic framework, the more that negative energy can come in. And it is all about divide to conquer. Negative energy is all about divide to conquer. So if that's what wins out for the shadow side, if that is what is winning out for that negative side, that darkness side of the planet, divide to conquer, what's the solution of love? It is community. It is coming together. It is collaborating. It is being as one. This is why for 8 years we have delivered and have built the pillar code modality to build a community, to build people who are consciously connected leaders. We are all about consciously connected leaders because we weren't able to say that 8 years ago, but it is crucial, it is vital that you all step up in your leadership. It is imperative that you are all consciously connected leaders. We have been building this in the Pillar Code for 8 years, and we will not stop, and we will not let any negative draw us apart. It will not happen. It will not happen. So you will sit up and you'll be in your love, and you'll be in your strength, and you'll be in your resilience. And we will have the hand of God coming down and helping you in every way possible. Just ask for it. Just step forward and ask for it, because this is about the higher consciousness of the movement of the planet. This is bigger than you. It is bigger than us. It is bigger than your family. It is bigger than your community. It is bigger than anyone or anything you know on the planet. It is not about one person or another. Stop speaking about one leader or another, because it is not about that. It is not about one person or one leader or another. It is about the collective consciousness of what is moving forward. It is the momentum of this collective consciousness of not only millions, but billions of people moving forward. There is no one person that can do anything about that to stop it, and there can be no one person that can be the only leader to move it forward, because there are multiple light leaders moving forward, but you are all coming from that one godly connection of consciousness. And we are after the community. Whatever you are in, build a community, build a family, build strength, build positivity, know the truth, lift children into that higher vibration of knowing what is right for them, what is right for the planet. What are you doing as parents? Where are you leaving your planet? What are you leading to your leadership? What is the leadership happening? What is going on that your children will take this onus on, and then their children? Because if you don't sort this out for your children, then your grandchildren won't even know what freedom is. It's about action. It is about intellect. It is about knowledge. And it is moving, it is moving, and it is moving. And it has happened. The fifth dimensional state has happened. It's whether or not you're going to be a part of it, if you're going to be a part of the leadership, if you're going to be a part of the movement forward, if you're going to be a part of that connection, if you're going to be a part of the truth, or are you going to be the tail at the end that's wagging with joy and happiness, but you weren't up the front, literally supporting people with this. So speak your truth, know your truth, and understand that we have been speaking this for many, many years now. It is incredibly important that you take hold about what is going on. Please do not be convinced by those who are dictating rules to you that they are doing the right thing for you. Look deeper into this. Why? Stop talking about masks or not. Look for why. Stop talking about curfew or not. Look at why. Stop talking about whether or not that leader has lied or not. Look at why. When you look at the why, you're actually looking into the area that they don't want you to look into. So if you are looking at one argument or another, that is distracting you and it's putting your head down instead of putting your head up and going, why? Why would they be doing that? And there is information everywhere that will tell you. And as we've said before, there is the light consciousness track to the fifth dimension. It's like a railway that will not be stopped. It is filled with the brimming of light. And the greater the light, the smaller the shadow. The greater the light, the smaller the shadow. And the shadow is reducing and reducing and reducing. And it is moving. It is happened. It is happening, and it will continue to happen. It's not a question of if. It's a question of how quickly, when, and what you're doing about it. All right, so let's go back and see some of these questions on here. Hello. All right, question on here. I'm hearing and seeing lots of lovely subtle changes in the positive. Absolutely. And embrace that, write that, express that, see that. You are on an exponential change. Exponential change. You have not seen change this quick ever in your lives. You are on an exponential change. Make sure it's the positive and rejoice and reward in the positive. As we said in one of our lives, it is like the popcorn. Go back if you haven't seen it. Go back to that popcorn analogy. And this popcorn is popping up all over the place. It's the awakening of the awareness of the consciousness. So whenever you see it, Celebrate it. Good afternoon. Yes, spring cleaning. Yes, absolutely. Have a look at what it is you're choosing to spring clean. Some will be your bodies. Some you're going to look at doing some detoxing or some cleansing or some extra exercise. What is going on? And this is why we're calling for all pillar practitioners to step up. This is now the line for everybody to step up. This is now the line for everybody to lift up, because it is the spring cleaning of the pillar code. It is taking everybody through the universal stepping stones, because if you are stepping through these pillars and lifting up and up and up and up and up, then as the mud rises, you're not going to be in it. You're going to be above it. You're going to be ahead of the game. You're going to be there in the fifth dimension. The third dimension is the bucket of mud down at the bottom. And we have gifted you the pillar code to cycle up and up and up and up and up. And it's a continual journey as this toxicity is lifted out of the planet. Keep going. Practitioners keep taking your clients through. Clients keep going through. People who would like to be a practitioner, this is the time to do it now. If not now, when? And what we say is, about anything in your life, you choose the what, and we will make sure the how will happen. All right. Can you please give some examples of action? Absolutely. Action will be, do your research. Action will be, you've heard something, go and look at the paper, go and look at the legislation, go and look at that information about what has changed. Go and look at the World Health Organization about when they moved it, and it was never a pandemic. It's moved away from a pandemic. Now go and look at hydroxychloroquine and have a look at all the research, have a look at the information, have a look at all the studies. Why? No, it's not about the doctors losing their license, being charged and not being able to supply that drug. You know that, whether or not you believe in that or support that or not. Have a look at the legislation. Are your doctors in your town allowed to prescribe it or not? But then have a look at why, what's going on. All of these researchers are coming through. Have a look, get yourself armed with information. That's an action. Have a look at, be armed with information. As we have said to you, there's going to be an internet issues. We have said that, we've said that since for about a year, that there's going to be about 10 days of internet issues. Action. Make sure you've got your passwords everywhere. Make sure you've got clean filtered water. Action. Make sure you've got cash in case the internet or the terminals do go down a little bit. Make sure you're investigating where you can get organic vegetables, clean vegetables. Action. Make sure you've got your phone numbers off your phone, and that you've got everything in paper form, so you've got actually everything there if you would like. Action. Write to your member of parliament and ask them questions. Action. Write to your premiers, or write to your mayors or your governors. Write to people and ask them why they aren't taking action. Write to their government and say, why is this allowed to happen? Write to the government and say, why is that document of pedophiles in parliament being suppressed for 90 years? We'd like that released. Action. You have the right to speak up. You have the right to say enough is enough. You have the right to say, this is not happening. You have the right to go and protect your children. You have the right to go to your doctors and say, if any of this comes in, I would like an exemption, because I am not going to do that. Action. Talk to your children about, you will not wear a mask or you will, that you will not have the vaccine or you will, or that you will not be stamped or you will. You're not going to be tagged or you will. Have a look what they're going to be doing. Bring it further and further and further in. They're going to start tagging you. They're going to be tagging you with information. They're going to be tagging your passports about the good people or the bad people. Write to people. Have a look at what class actions are going around. Action. Join the class actions if you can. Action. Look at how you can help people wake up. Action. Look at how you can actually then, in your own practice, in your own journey, in your own practitioner, or your coaching or your teaching, or whatever you're doing out there in the world, look at how you can help people. And action. People move away from apartments. People are going into the country. People are moving away from high intensity living, and people are moving back into the country. Action. So look at this. Are you happy living where you're living? Action. Have you got somewhere to go if you need to go? Action. Have you told your family what you'd like to do and what would happen if communication stopped? Action. There's so many things that you can look at, and all within the law, all legally. You can do everything, but you can also express your interest. There are so many actions that you can actually do here. You will notice that there is going to be an absolute shift, a paradigm shift around the planet, where people will now start to relocate, and they're going to relocate quite rapidly. They're going to relocate for where they feel home. Quite often people will have such an awareness now and a wake up that they will just like to go back to home, be near their parents, or move to where their children are. They'd like to go back to maybe where their origins were. You are going to see people who have moved to different cities for work, or for relocations, for different things, who are going to go, enough is enough. We're actually going to go home now. Don't you ever tell me where to live. You're not going to tell me where to live now. I'm going to live here. This is where I'm going to be. You're going to see a shift happening around the planet. Lots of homes for sale, lots of places exchanging for rental. There's going to be a big shift about this relocation happening. So have a look, and action. Have a look. Where do you really choose to be? Where is really your place? Where is your tribe? Where is your connection? Where is your action? Okay, so have a look. There's so many things that we could help you. Action, spring clean. Action, clean up your paperwork. Action, make sure you have your exercise programs. Action, make sure you've got your healthy regime. There's many, many things. Thank you for that question. All right, next one. Will there be another shutdown in North America? All right, so there is going to be sporadic patches around the planet that will actually go into shutdown, but it's going to be like patchwork. It's going to be sporadic. So there's going to be locations that will actually take it upon themselves to go into their shutdown. But we can't say to you that there's going to be across the board country shutdown in this, because there are too many people who've woken up. There may be an attempt to do it, but there are too many people that will object. They may want to schedule that, but there's going to be too many people who will not actually abide by those rules. So there is going to be sporadic shutdowns. There are going to be locations until there's enough people woken up. There's going to be areas, locations that could be counties or regions or local communities or states or so on. But that will only be until people wake up. The more people are waking up, the less they're able to do that, because people know that they have been lied to. People know there's more to the truth. And what they haven't encountered is how much of a reaction around the planet this whole situation has created. So are they planning for it? In some areas, yes. Will it happen? In some areas, yes, but only in a patchwork manner, and it will be sporadic. So if an area wants to close down, what will happen? All of those areas, all those consciously connected regions around them will actually come in and support people who are stuck in the middle. Does that make sense to you? Question: what is the truth about the reptilian battle for Earth? So you'll understand that many people will be confused about what's happening with this reptilian battle. You all have a reptilian brain. You all have a connection and energetic framework towards this. So there is a light side of everyone, and you have a contrast side to everyone. And we teach this to our pillar practitioners, and you will know this. Everybody has a light consciousness side. We call that a God side. Everyone has that shadow side, and that is when you are fallen, you are low of energy, you are unwell, your armor has been battered, your armor has been brought down. So there's that shadow side. in that shadow side, you can say that's that reptilian brain within the human. Now that is mainstream. Everybody understands this. What is happening here is, as Mother Earth is going through and shifting up into that fifth dimensional state, that's taking over that energetic space and reducing any of that ailment, any of that energy, any of that connection into that shadow side of that reptilian state. It is too big a conversation for many people, but what we will say to you is that the movement has progressed and everything has shifted and everything is lifting into that vibrational frequency. However, as the shadow side is getting more and more condensed, and that, if you like to say it, the reptilian side, or this battle for Earth, is getting more and more condensed, it's getting stronger and stronger as it's reducing, as it's restricting. So it is forming into like this chunk of coal, this black mass. And with this black mass, it's literally throwing everything at it. And that's what we were speaking about before. There's going to be this energetic, negative energetic feeds coming up and pulling good people down by trying to disconnect. So know that everything is sorting, everything is shifting, because it's already written in space and time. If you have a look at the time dimension, there is no space and time. And so therefore, in this time now, you're only a frequency, you're only a magnifying glass into an element that's already happened. Everything in the end has already happened. The frequency of what's happening has already happened, but you are sitting in 2020 and you are looking in a magnifying glass and watching as something is already played out. It's like watching a movie and you are 2/3 into the act of the movie, but the movie may have been played out and acted over 20 years ago. So this is what's happening in the center of the earth. You are just watching a replay. You are just watching a replay of what's actually going on in the center. You are seeing it for the first time. Many don't even know that it's on because they haven't tapped in to see what's happening. But the earth is literally throwing out everything. It's literally spring cleaning. It has already happened. The light consciousness has already moved into the fifth dimensional space. So keep an eye on the messages that are coming through, the information that's coming through to show you about this shift. We hope that answered your question. Question, I feel that I'm going through a physical upgrade, being more sensitive to things and less tolerance. Are our bodies being upgraded? There is a frequency upgrade because that is a part of the fifth dimensional shift. It is a purity. So when you are going through the pillar code, what we say to our clients is, as you're going in this stepping stone, in this universal ladder, it's climbing the universal staircase, but supported in a very structured way to do that. As you are going through that and you are lifting and being supported as you're climbing the staircase, it's like the air is clearer and clearer and clearer. So then if you get to one particular block or stumbling block or speed bump, and there's this smog or this fog around, you're incredibly sensitive to it because you've actually lifted up into this highest frequency. So yes, you will be going on an upgrade, but the questioner is also a pillar practitioner, and we have just finished a round of practitioner training. In practitioner training, every single pillar practitioner who still holds the currency of the value and the respect and still holds the intent to be a pillar practitioner is attuned. Whether or not you're attending the entirety of the training or not, every training is a reattunement for all the practitioners that have gone before that are still holding that space and that value and respect of the higher consciousness. So you have also gone through a new attunement, if that answers that question for you. Yes, that will mean you'll be having less tolerance because you are moving up into that clearer space. It is like after a detox and you've just had this beautiful detox and you've done this amazing job, and then you go and put rubbish into your body that you would normally have before the detox, but it has a massive effect on you. You are more sensitive, you are seeing it more, and yes, you've just upgraded your attunement. I hope that answered your question. Hello, how do I remain calm emotionally and physically during this turbulence. It is all about maintaining your connection to peace, love, and connection. You are a pillar code alumni. It is about sealing, keeping your sealing, but know the truth. Keep with your truth. And when you know the truth, see the truth, you will actually have more resilience to be able to speak up and speak out and understand it. Because when you research and use your brain, and when you look in, and when you get your information and your facts and your figures and your information and so on, what's happening, you're actually feeding the brain. So when these things come up, you are really quite resolved with the fact that you actually know that information before it's even coming out, or you know information about it. What's going to happen though is when you're seeing misinformation or the lies or the deceit or the betrayal that's going on, and you're sitting there with the evidence of truth, it can be unraveling to actually see that people are buying into it, and see that still coming down to the news, and see what's still going on. So we say, hold your resilience in the fact that there are greater numbers in the community knowing the truth like you do. But connect to those people. If you are connecting all to those who are disconnected, you're going to feel like you're completely out of your community, out of your tribe. So we say very, very, very strongly here, people, it is incredibly important. Know your tribe. Be in a positive tribe. Be in a tribe that is in growth and that's uplifting. Make sure you're with like-minded people that you can learn from, and they can learn from you, and you can do it in a safe, positive environment. We hope that answered your question. Okay, question. Small business laws. Do you think it's going to change? We know that every law is going to change. Every law is going to come back to the universal law of you protect me, I protect you. We respect each other's viewpoints. The small business laws have actually been suffocating small business, and small business is the vibrancy of the original community. As we were saying, that people will go back to their original homeland, they're going to go back to their original space, they're going to go back to where they literally feel that love connection. When you go back to the communities, and we have been speaking about this for years, what we're saying to you is, this is all about that the shadow side is wanting centralization, which will be the destruction of small business. And what is really happening with the light consciousness is coming back to community. And we are going to just keep speaking about community. Please understand the importance of community. And community is all about small business. And small business is all about a fair go. And small business and having a fair go is all about the economic trade. It's all about supply and demand without the heavy-handed taxes or the restrictions that have gone with it. So when you have supply and demand, the natural law of economics will actually weed out those who are trying to be obsessive or greedy or haven't delivered what they said that they were going to give. And the supply and demand universal law will also show the ones who are delivering well and beyond, and therefore their small business will grow. All of these changes are going to be looked at because it cannot hold within the new dimension. It cannot hold some of these laws. The same with farming, the same with agriculture, the same with looking after the earth. A lot of these legislation, these laws, the waterways are not in the benefit to Mother Earth. So it is all going to be supporting farmers, to supporting local communities, supporting produce, supporting waterways, supporting small business, because that is what community is. And that is where you're going to get your strength and your knowledge and your beautiful food and your beautiful connection from that. We hope that answers your question. It's more and more, I'm more and more exhausted as this goes on. Yes, we understand this. So we understand that energies will be starting to be depleted. And what will happen is your energy will be more depleted when you are split. When you are looking at this sense, and then someone says, no, that this is correct. And then someone goes, no, this is the information. And so others people go, and so what you're trying to do is you're trying to give 100% to one way and 100% to the other, or you're trying to appease both sides, and it's splitting your energy, and that's when you'll get depleted. So please just pull back from a little, just get your bearings again, come back into where you are connected, coming back into your space and your peace, and then step forward from that point forward. Do what you can, lift up, walk up this universal staircase. You lift up so you're out of the mud, because if you're in the negativity in the mud, the lower your vibrational frequency, the lower your immunity, the lower your energy, the more negativity can get you by the ankles and pull you into it. So just lift and do what you can to lift. We hope that answered your question. Lots of good questions today. All right, and we'll just do a couple more. Can you please give more info on the financial reset coming and how that is going to look as well? Yes, we've spoken about this a number of times, and it's again following on from the questioner about small business. So when you have a look at what the shadow side is doing with the power and control, and literally taking away your consciousness, taking away consciously connected leaders, what's happening with that is it'll take small business away, and you can see that even with the laws with what's going on at the moment. Big businesses are allowed to open and trade. Small businesses aren't allowed to open and trade. You'll see what's happening. That's why we say don't get into the minutiae of the argument. Look at the why. What is it? Step it up. See what's going on. But the fifth dimensional movement, moving into this consciously connected world, moving into consciously connected leaders will seek that everybody is in abundance, that everybody has food, and everybody has clean water and housing and support and opportunities to grow. And so this is all around having a look at consciously connected improvements and lifting. So when you are having a look at the fiat, the financial system, and you are looking at the falsehood, that's the illusion of finance. It's creating money out of air. It's the illusion. The fiat system is the illusion system, or it's the false financial system. It's creating money out of air. It's creating then interest, asking you to pay back that invisible money, and not being able to hold back. It's creating this burden on people who can't pay back the original debt, which was created from nothing. Then they've got the interest, they can't pay that, and so then it's slavery. The fiat system's like a financial slavery. And so that is not a part of the fifth dimensional consciousness system. So it is about moving forward. It's the freedom, it's fairness. If you are somebody who are a great entrepreneur, great at moving forward, you'll be able to step up and move forward, and you'll be able to do this because you'll have the freedom throughout the financial system. It's coming back to the gold. It is coming back to the gold standard. And the gold standard doesn't necessarily mean it's all around gold, but it's coming back to that gold standard. It's going to come back into the fairness of the exchange without the burdens, without that double taxing, without that income taxing. You will be able to earn, and you'll be able to contribute to your community through your profits, but your individual will be able to earn. You won't be double taxed on all your energy. There are all these things that you are double taxed on. You are constantly paying double of. You don't even realize that you're paying double of. And all this money will be lifted. There'll be so much more freedom, and there won't be this greed. It'll be this opportunity. For the fact that you've got people going hungry in this world, not by their own choice, but for the fact that there's absolute depletion of food and depletion of clean water, is an absolute abominable disgrace. And so when you are looking at a new financial system, you are looking at how you can clear that, because that can be cleared in 5 seconds. That can be cleared in a heartbeat, and consciously connected leaders can then have the equality for all on this planet, and you'll be able to live a beautifully connected, peaceful life. You can look up, research Nasara, look up the quantum reset. It is all about a fair trading system, and you'll be being removed from that fiat system. We would highly recommend you investigate looking into community banking, community societies, and getting away from the absolute collaboration of the big banking. Have a look who owns them, where is the money going, and what is it doing. Have a look and research. We hope that answered your question. All right, so many questions today. Lovely to speak to you and to connect back in. We will be back in as soon as we can. Why we missed last week is because we're literally turning the book into an audio book, and then when we're having a look at the audio book, we've been dictating this through, so it's going to be coming out on audio really soon. If you have this book, or if not, we're going to start showing you some extracts. This book started to be written 8.5 years ago. The information in it is for now. It's absolutely for now. And it's speaking about the consciously connected planet. It is speaking about how everybody is moving. It was written 8 years ago, but the messages are more important today than ever. And if you've got the book, get to chapter 8, read the chapter of truth, and it will be speaking to you about 2020, and it will say to you that it's all about the world lifting into its conscious connection. All right, so we will leave it at that today, and we will speak to you really soon. Stay connected, research, get into your actions, keep your peace, maintain your love, maintain that connection, and know the truth is going to set you free. Bye for now.